Volume 1, The Door Beyond the Garden. Chapter 1, Broke Beyond Hope. The rain poured steadily over the city, turning the streets into mirrors of gray skies and flickering neon lights. Noah Reyes pulled the hood of his worn jacket over his head as he walked out of the office building carrying a small cardboard box. Inside were the only things left of his job: a coffee mug, an old notebook filled with business ideas that never became reality, a family photo of parents he barely remembered, and a small potted cactus that somehow survived longer than his employment. He stopped at the building entrance and looked back one last time. 5 years. 5 years of overtime. 5 years of skipped holidays. 5 years of believing hard work would eventually pay off. Instead, "I'm sorry, Noah," his manager had said with an awkward smile. "The company is downsizing. You're one of the employees we're letting go. No severance worth mentioning. No promises. Just a handshake and a box." Noah sighed. So much for loyalty. His phone buzzed. Landlord. Noah already knew why. He answered anyway. "Hello. When are you paying the rent?" The landlord demanded. "I just lost my job today. That's not my problem. Quote. I've already waited 2 months. If you can't pay by this weekend, I'm changing the locks." The call ended. Noah stared silently at the dark screen. He checked his bank account. 1,482.67 pesos. That was everything he owned. His wallet contained 200 pesos and an old bus card with almost no balance. He laughed quietly. "I can't even afford to be depressed." The tiny apartment greeted him with silence. A single room, a leaking ceiling, a broken electric fan, instant noodles stacked beside the sink. He opened the refrigerator. Half a bottle of water. 1 egg. Nothing else. Dinner it is. As the noodles cooked, he searched online for jobs. Every application ended the same way. Experience required. We'll contact you. Position already filled. Hours passed. Nothing. He lay on his old mattress, staring at the cracked ceiling. When did life become this hard? The next morning was even worse. His electricity was cut off. By afternoon, the landlord knocked on his door. "You have until tomorrow." Noah simply nodded. He had no strength left to argue. The following day, he packed everything he owned into 2 boxes. His entire life fit inside them. As he walked away from the apartment building, he didn't even look back. There wasn't much to miss. He spent the afternoon sitting on a bench in a quiet park. Children laughed nearby. Office workers hurried past with coffee in hand. Couples talked happily beneath umbrellas. The whole world kept moving, while Noah felt completely left behind. His stomach growled. He bought the cheapest bread he could find and slowly ate it while watching the sunset. Maybe I should move to another city. Maybe. I don't even know anymore. Just then, his phone rang. An unknown number. "Hello. Is this Mr. Noah Reyes?" "Yes. My name is Attorney Daniel Cruz. I'm handling the estate of your late relative, Mr. Emilio Reyes." Noah frowned. "I think you've got the wrong person." "No, sir. Mr. Emilio Reyes specifically listed your name in his will." "I don't know anyone named Emilio." "That's understandable. He was your grandfather's cousin. The 2 families lost contact decades ago." Noah blinked. "So, why are you calling me?" "Because he left everything he owned to you." Silence. "Everything?" "Yes. It's not much. An old countryside house, some farmland, and several personal belongings." Noah couldn't believe it. "Why me?" Attorney Cruz chuckled softly. He left a handwritten note. "What does it say?" The lawyer unfolded the paper. "To the last Reyes who still knows how to smile after losing. Everything. The house has been waiting for you." Noah stared at the evening sky. Waiting. For him. 3 days later, a worn-out provincial bus stopped beside a quiet mountain road. The driver opened the door. "This is your stop." Noah stepped down carrying his 2 boxes. The bus disappeared into the distance. Silence filled the air. Birds chirped. The breeze smelled of fresh grass instead of smoke. Following the directions given by the lawyer, he walked along an old dirt path. After nearly 20 minutes, he froze. Before him stood a weathered 2-story wooden house surrounded by ancient trees and wildflowers. The roof was covered with moss. The windows were dusty. The wooden fence had collapsed in several places. It looked abandoned, yet strangely peaceful. Noah smiled for the first time in weeks. "So, this is my new home." He climbed the creaking wooden steps. As he placed the old brass key into the lock, a gentle breeze swept through the yard. The leaves rustled as if whispering a welcome. Far beyond the walls of the old house, something ancient quietly stirred. The mysterious door had waited decades for its next master. And without realizing it, Noah had just taken the first step toward a life beyond imagination. Chapter 2: The Forgotten House. Morning sunlight streamed through the cracked windows, filling the old house with warm golden light. Noah slowly opened his eyes. For a few moments, he forgot where he was. Then the smell of old wood and fresh mountain air reminded him. I'm really here. He sat up from the sleeping bag he had spread across the dusty wooden floor. The house creaked softly, almost as if it were waking up alongside him. Outside, birds chirped happily. It had been years since Noah had woken up somewhere this quiet. No honking cars, no noisy neighbors, no alarms, only nature. For the first time in months, he felt peaceful. After eating a simple breakfast of bread and bottled water, Noah decided to inspect every room. If I'm living here, I should at least know if the roof is going to collapse. The living room was covered in thick dust. Old wooden shelves lined the walls. A stone fireplace sat in the center, blackened with soot from years ago. An antique clock hung crookedly above it. Surprisingly, the clock was still ticking. Tick, tick, tick. Noah frowned. That's impossible. There wasn't even electricity. Yet the clock continued to move. He brushed it off as an old mechanical clock and continued exploring. The kitchen looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. Rusty pans hung from hooks. Ancient jars filled with dried herbs sat neatly on wooden shelves. Most had turned to dust. Except one, a small glass jar filled with glowing green seeds. Glowing. He picked it up. The tiny seeds shimmered like emeralds beneath the sunlight. Just as he reached for the lid, a loud thud echoed upstairs. Bang! Noah froze. Someone's here. He grabbed an old broom like it was a weapon. Hello. No answer. Only silence. Carefully. Step, step, step. He climbed the staircase. His heartbeat grew louder with every step. He slowly pushed open the bedroom door. Creak. Nothing. The room was empty. An old rocking chair gently moved by itself near the window. The window was open. The wind had caused the noise. Noah sighed deeply. I nearly scared myself to death. The second floor contained 3 bedrooms. One had collapsed. One was completely empty. The final room looked untouched. Inside stood an old wooden wardrobe, a bookshelf, a neatly made bed, as if someone had only left yesterday. On the bedside table rested a leather journal, covered in dust. Noah carefully opened it. The first pages were faded beyond recognition, but later entries remained readable. The garden continues to flourish. The spirits are happy this spring. The vegetables are growing unusually fast again. Never allow greed to control your heart. The door chooses only one caretaker. Noah blinked. The garden. What garden? He looked out the bedroom window. Only an overgrown backyard greeted him. Maybe his relative had simply loved gardening. He placed the journal into his backpack. The rest of the day passed cleaning. He swept the floors, removed broken furniture, opened every window, scrubbed years of dust away. Little by little, the forgotten house began to feel alive again. As the afternoon sun shone through the clean windows, the home looked far more welcoming. Noah smiled proudly. Not bad. Outside, he repaired part of the broken fence using old wooden planks. While working, he noticed something strange. Behind the house, the weeds stopped abruptly. Beyond them stood a small stone pathway almost completely hidden beneath vines. I don't remember seeing this yesterday. Curious, Noah followed it. The path wound around the back of the house before ending at a weathered stone shed. Its roof had nearly collapsed. The wooden door was sealed shut by thick vines. Above the entrance, an unfamiliar symbol was carved into the stone. It looked like a tree surrounded by countless stars. What is this place? He pushed against the door. It refused to move, not even an inch. He searched around but found no lock. No handle. Nothing. Almost like the door had never been meant to open from outside. As evening arrived, Noah cooked instant noodles over a small camping stove. He laughed to himself. Some inheritance. A broken house. A mysterious shed. And a creepy diary. Still, it was better than sleeping on the streets. As darkness covered the mountains, Noah lit a single lantern. The warm light flickered across the wooden walls. Tick, tick, tick. The old clock downstairs continued to run. Even stranger, the symbol carved above the fireplace now glowed faintly with a soft green light. Noah rubbed his tired eyes. I'm imagining things. He went upstairs and fell asleep almost immediately. Just after midnight, a gentle breeze swept through the silent house. The old clock struck 12. Dong, dong, dong. The glowing symbol on the fireplace shone brighter than ever before. Far behind the old storage room, hidden beneath layers of dusty shelves, an ancient wooden door quietly trembled, as though it had sensed its new master had finally come home. Chapter 3: The Hidden Door. The first rays of sunlight slipped through the bedroom window. Noah stretched lazily before remembering the strange events from the previous night. The glowing symbol, the old clock, the mysterious journal, and that strange feeling that someone, or something, had been watching him. He shook his head. I seriously need more sleep. After a quick breakfast of bread and coffee brewed over his camping stove, Noah decided to continue cleaning the house. If I'm going to live here, I might as well finish what I started. The storage room was by far the messiest place in the house. Broken furniture, dusty boxes, rusted farming tools, old sacks of who knows what. Spider webs covered nearly every corner. Noah tied a towel around his face. This might take all day. He began moving old cabinets one by one. Hours passed. His shirt was soaked with sweat. His arms ached. How did one old man collect this much junk? As he shoved aside a heavy wooden shelf. Thud. The entire shelf shifted. A cloud of dust exploded into the air. Cough, cough. When the dust settled, Noah froze. Behind the shelf, hidden within the stone wall, was an ancient wooden door. What? Unlike every other door in the house, this one looked untouched by time. The wood was deep black, polished like obsidian. Golden vines were carved along its surface. At its center was the same symbol he had seen above the fireplace. A magnificent tree surrounded by countless stars. The carvings glowed faintly, almost as if the door had been waiting for someone. Noah slowly stepped closer. No way, there wasn't a room here. He touched the door. The wood felt warm, not like ordinary wood, almost alive. The moment his fingertips rested on the symbol, the entire house trembled. Rumble. Dust fell from the ceiling. Outside, birds suddenly took flight. The old grandfather clock downstairs began chiming. Dong, dong, dong. Golden light spread across the carvings. The vines slowly moved, like living branches. Noah stumbled backward. Oh okay. That's definitely not normal. The door unlocked itself. Click. Its ancient handle slowly turned. Creak. The door opened by itself. Beyond it, there was no room, no hallway, no basement. Instead, a warm breeze carrying the scent of flowers drifted through the doorway. Golden sunlight poured inside. Noah's eyes widened. Impossible. Beyond the doorway stretched an endless blue sky. Green hills, crystal clear rivers, massive trees taller than skyscrapers. Floating islands drifted peacefully through the clouds. Colorful birds unlike anything on earth flew overhead. Butterflies with glowing wings danced through the air. The entire world shimmered with magic. Noah rubbed his eyes. I'm dreaming. He pinched himself. Ow. Not dreaming. Carefully, he stepped through. The instant both feet crossed the doorway, the house behind him vanished. Instead, the wooden door now stood alone beneath a gigantic silver tree. No walls, no building, just a single door standing in the middle of paradise. What is this place? Grass as soft as silk brushed against his shoes. Flowers sparkled with tiny lights. The air itself felt refreshing. Every breath filled his body with energy. It was unlike anything he had ever experienced. Nearby, a small stream flowed with water so clear he could see shimmering blue fish swimming beneath the surface. A gentle breeze carried the fragrance of countless flowers. For the first time in years, Noah felt completely free. He spent hours exploring. The land stretched farther than he could see. Rolling hills, fruit trees covered in strange glowing apples, fields of colorful flowers, ancient stone ruins, small crystal ponds. There was no sign of people. No houses, no roads, only nature. Yet, Everything looked perfectly cared for. Almost as if someone had just left. As Noah admired a massive golden tree, a tiny voice echoed behind him. Quote, "You're late." Noah froze. Slowly, he turned around. Hovering only a few feet away was a tiny girl no taller than his hand. She had long emerald green hair, golden eyes, transparent butterfly wings. She wore a dress woven from flower petals. She crossed her arms, pouting. "I've been waiting for over 30 years. Noah stared blankly. Quote, "A fairy." The tiny girl tilted her head. "Obviously. You humans haven't gotten smarter." Noah's legs gave out. He collapsed onto the soft grass. His brain completely shut down. A talking fairy. A magical world. A floating door. This is too much. The fairy floated closer before smiling brightly. "Welcome home, Master Gardener." Noah blinked. Quote, "Master." She giggled. The garden has finally chosen its new caretaker. Far above them, the silver tree shimmered. Its leaves glowed like stars. And deep beneath its roots, something ancient slowly awakened. Chapter 4: A Garden Without End. The tiny fairy hovered in front of Noah with her arms crossed. "You've finally stopped making that funny face." Noah blinked. Funny face. The one humans make when their brains stop working. Quote, "I wasn't making a funny face." "You were." She nodded confidently. "You looked like a fish." Noah sighed. "This has to be a dream." The fairy flew closer and flicked his forehead. Flick. "Ow. Does that feel like a dream?" "No." "Good." She smiled brightly. "Then welcome home, Master Gardener." Noah slowly stood up, brushing the grass from his clothes. "I'm Noah." The fairy gave a graceful bow in midair. "I know. My name is Mira. I've been waiting for you for 37 years. Quote, 37. She nodded. The previous caretaker passed away 37 years ago. "So, you've been alone this whole time." "I wasn't alone." She smiled gently. "The garden has always been with me." Noah looked around. The endless field stretched farther than the horizon. Quote, "How big is this place?" Mira puffed out her cheeks. "I don't know." "You don't know." "No one does. The garden grows with its caretaker." Quote, "What?" She pointed toward the endless landscape. "It wasn't this big before. Every caretaker leaves behind memories. The garden keeps them." Noah looked across the valleys and forests again. He suddenly realized there wasn't a single dead plant anywhere. Every flower bloomed perfectly. Every tree looked healthy. Even the grass sparkled beneath the sunlight. "This place is alive." Mira smiled. "You noticed." They began walking along a cobblestone path lined with colorful flowers. Butterflies surrounded them. Birds with crystal feathers sang from the trees. Tiny rabbits with glowing blue tails hopped through the bushes. One boldly approached Noah. It sniffed his shoe, then rubbed its head against his leg. Quote, "You're friendly. It likes you." Mira giggled. "Animals here know kind hearts." The rabbit happily bounced away. Soon they reached a crystal-clear river. Its water shimmered with soft blue light. Noah knelt down and cupped some water into his hands. The moment he drank it, warmth spread throughout his body. His aching muscles disappeared. The soreness from cleaning the house vanished instantly. Quote, "What was that?" "Life Spring." Mira smiled proudly. "It heals fatigue. You can drink as much as you want." Noah stared at the river in disbelief. "If this existed on Earth." "It doesn't." She interrupted. "The garden's gifts cannot survive outside unless they're harvested correctly." They continued deeper into the garden. Massive fruit trees towered overhead. Some apples glowed gold. Others shone silver. One tree bore fruits that looked like tiny stars. Noah had never seen anything so beautiful. "Can I eat them?" Mira quickly shook her head. "No." "Why?" "They're not ripe. They'll explode." Quote, "They'll what?" "Only a little." Quote, "I'll wait." As they climbed a small hill, Noah finally saw the true heart of the garden. Standing proudly at the center was an enormous silver tree. It reached high into the clouds. Its trunk was wider than a castle. Its branches stretched across the sky. Millions of glowing leaves shimmered like stars. The sight stole Noah's breath away. Quote, "Beautiful." Mira smiled softly. "This is the world tree. It is the heart of the garden. It watches everything." Noah instinctively stepped closer. The moment his hand touched the bark, the tree glowed. A deep, ancient voice echoed through the air. Welcome. Noah jumped backward. Did that tree just talk? No. Mira tilted her head. It greeted you. That's talking. The world tree released a single glowing silver leaf. It floated gently into Noah's hand. The leaf dissolved into countless tiny lights. Warm energy flooded his body. His vision blurred. For a brief moment, he saw countless unfamiliar faces. Old men, young women, children, farmers, merchants, gardeners. Each smiled warmly at him. Then, the visions disappeared. What was that? The previous caretakers. Mira answered quietly. They accepted you. Noah remained silent. He suddenly understood. This garden wasn't simply magical. It carried generations of people who had protected it. Now, it belonged to him. As the sun began to set, Mira led Noah to a small wooden cottage nestled beneath the world tree. This was the caretaker's home. Unlike the abandoned house on Earth, this one looked spotless. A warm fire burned in the fireplace. Fresh bread rested on the table. The beds were neatly made. You've been maintaining this. Mira nodded proudly. I cleaned every day. For 37 years. Noah smiled. You must have been lonely. The cheerful fairy looked away. A little. Noah gently patted her tiny head. From today onward, you won't be alone anymore. For a moment, Mira froze. Then her eyes became watery. Welcome home, Noah. Outside the cottage, countless flowers bloomed all at once. The garden itself seemed to celebrate. High above, the world tree swayed gently despite the absence of wind. Its ancient branches whispered a silent promise. The new caretaker had finally accepted his place. And the garden would soon reveal its greatest treasures. Chapter 5 Planting the First Seeds. The morning sun bathed the garden in golden light. Tiny dewdrops shimmered like diamonds on every blade of grass. Noah stepped out of the caretaker's cottage and took a deep breath. This place still doesn't feel real. Mira floated beside him, happily humming as she carried a tiny watering can. Good morning, Master Gardener. Can you stop calling me that? No. The garden already recognizes you. So you're the Master Gardener. Noah sighed. I guess I can't win. Mira giggled. After breakfast, Mira clapped her tiny hands. Today is important. What are we doing? She pointed toward a vast empty field beside the world tree. We're farming. Noah blinked. That's it. She looked offended. That's it. You're talking about the garden. The greatest farmland in existence. Noah scratched his head. I don't exactly have magical seeds. Mira smiled mischievously. You don't need magical seeds. What? The garden transforms ordinary life into extraordinary life. Curious, Noah returned to the house on Earth through the magical door. Everything was exactly where he had left it. Only a few minutes had passed. Time flows differently. He looked around his backpack. Fortunately, before losing his apartment, he had bought several cheap seed packets from a gardening store, hoping to grow vegetables one day. Tomatoes, carrots, lettuce, cucumbers, potatoes, spinach. He smiled. I almost threw these away. Mira clapped excitedly when he returned. Perfect. Together they prepared the soil. Noah expected difficult work. Instead, the earth was unbelievably soft. His shovel sank effortlessly into the ground. Each scoop released a pleasant fragrance. It's like digging through chocolate cake. The soil loves being cultivated. Mira smiled proudly. It has waited many years. One by one, Noah planted the seeds. Tomatoes, carrots, lettuce, potatoes. He carefully covered each with rich black soil. After several hours, dozens of neat rows filled the field. Noah stretched his aching back. There, our first farm. He couldn't help smiling, although his life had fallen apart. Starting over with his own hands felt strangely comforting. Mira floated over carrying a crystal watering can. The last step, she poured sparkling water over the crops. Every droplet glowed blue. The moment the water touched the soil, tiny lights spread beneath the earth. The entire field shimmered. Noah stared in amazement. Did that just happen? It always happens. Nothing else occurred for the rest of the afternoon. No magical explosions. No giant plants. Just peaceful silence. Noah laughed. I was expecting instant harvest. Mira shook her head. The garden rewards patience. I guess that's fair. As evening approached, Noah decided to explore nearby forests while waiting. The garden continued to surprise him. A family of fluffy sheep grazed peacefully nearby. Except, they had clouds instead of wool. Cloud sheep. Mira introduced them proudly. They produce floating wool. One curious lamb bounced over and gently headbutted Noah. Adorable. Nearby, tiny birds gathered around him. They happily perched on his shoulders. One even braided a strand of his messy black hair. Hey! The birds chirped proudly. Mira burst into laughter. I think they like your hairstyle. As the sun disappeared beyond the mountains, Noah returned to the cottage. Dinner consisted of freshly baked bread, fruit, and soup made from herbs growing naturally around the garden. Everything tasted incredible. I've never eaten anything this good. The garden feeds those who care for it. Later that night, Noah stood outside beneath countless stars. The world tree glowed softly. A peaceful breeze rustled its silver leaves. I think, he whispered, I finally found a place where I belong. Far away, the garden sparkled gently. Almost, as if it had heard him. The next morning, Noah walked toward the field while yawning. I wonder if anything sprouted. He froze. The tiny seeds were gone. Instead, towering tomato vines stretched several meters into the air. Golden tomatoes the size of melons hung from every branch. Carrots glowed like orange crystals beneath the soil. Lettuce shimmered with emerald light. Potatoes radiated warm golden energy. The entire field had transformed overnight. Noah slowly dropped the basket in his hands. What? Mira laughed so hard she almost fell from the sky. I told you. The garden transforms ordinary life into extraordinary life. Noah walked toward the nearest tomato. He gently picked one. The fruit released a warm golden glow. A transparent message suddenly appeared before his eyes. Golden Sun Tomato. Grade. Legendary. Effects. Restores energy. Greatly improves health. Delicious beyond imagination. Estimated value. 5 gold coins each. Noah stared at the glowing tomato. Then at the endless rows of hundreds more. His mouth slowly fell open. I think, we're about to become very rich. Far beyond the garden, in another world, someone had already sensed the appearance of a legendary harvest. And they were coming. Chapter 6 The Traveling Merchant. The morning after the miraculous harvest, Noah stood in the middle of the glowing fields with a basket in his hands. Golden sun tomatoes. Emerald lettuce. Crystal carrots. Golden potatoes. Every crop shimmered beneath the warm sunlight. Even after seeing them with his own eyes, he still couldn't believe they were real. This is impossible. Mira floated proudly above the crops. I told you the garden only grows miracles. Noah gently picked another tomato. Its sweet fragrance filled the air. Who would even buy something like this? Mira blinked. Buy. Of course, I can't eat thousands of tomatoes. Oh, she smiled innocently. I forgot. You humans like money. Just then, a loud bell echoed across the valley. Ding, ding, ding. Noah looked around. Did you hear that? Myra's cheerful expression disappeared. He's here. Who? The traveling merchant. Far across the endless fields. A narrow stone road slowly appeared out of thin air. It hadn't existed a moment ago. Ancient. Cobblestones stretched toward the horizon. A horse-drawn carriage rolled quietly along the mysterious road. The horses were unlike anything Noah had ever seen. Their bodies shimmered like polished crystal. Tiny stars floated within their transparent manes. The carriage itself looked luxurious, decorated with silver vines and glowing gemstones. It finally stopped in front of Noah. The door opened. A tall gentleman stepped down. He wore a dark green suit embroidered with golden leaves. His silver hair was neatly combed back. A monocle rested over one eye. Despite looking no older than 40, his golden eyes held centuries of wisdom. He smiled politely. Good morning. My deepest congratulations. Noah blinked. Congratulations. The man bowed elegantly. I am Cedric Vallon, the official traveling merchant of the World Tree. I've come to purchase today's harvest. Noah looked toward Mira. You didn't mention him. I forgot. You forget a lot. I do. Cedric chuckled softly. I see Lady Mira remains unchanged. The fairy proudly puffed out her chest. I've only forgotten a few things. Cedric smiled politely. It has only been 37 years. The merchant walked toward the tomato field. The moment he saw the harvest, his composed expression cracked. Impossible. He removed his monocle. Looked again. Legendary grade. He picked up one golden sun tomato. His hands trembled. This quality. I haven't seen vegetables like these in over 400 years. Noah's eyes widened. 400. Cedric slowly nodded. The previous caretakers could grow legendary crops. Only after decades. He looked directly at Noah. You accomplished it. On your very first harvest. Even Mira looked surprised. Really? Cedric sighed. You forgot that too. Maybe. Cedric carefully placed the tomato back into the basket. I wish to purchase everything. Everything. Every fruit. Every vegetable. Every herb. Noah scratched his head. I don't even know their price. Cedric smiled. I expected as much. He snapped his fingers. A floating golden book appeared beside him. Its pages turned by themselves. One page stopped. Rows of glowing prices filled the paper. Cedric began reading. Golden sun tomatoes. 5 gold coins each. Crystal carrots. 3 gold coins. Emerald lettuce. 4 gold coins. Golden potatoes. 2 gold coins. Noah slowly looked at the hundreds of vegetables filling the fields. How much is everything? Cedric spent several minutes calculating. Finally, he smiled. The total comes to 1,286 gold coins. Silence. Noah blinked. Is that a lot? Cedric nearly dropped the book. A lot. Mira burst into laughter. You really don't know. Cedric smiled helplessly. In the kingdom of Aurelia, 1 gold coin can purchase a small house. Noah's jaw slowly dropped. Excuse me, you currently possess enough wealth to buy an entire town. Cedric opened a silver storage ring. A mountain of glittering gold coins poured neatly onto the grass. Each coin shimmered brilliantly beneath the sunlight. Noah stared silently. That's real. Cedric nodded. Perfectly genuine. Noah picked one up. It was surprisingly heavy. The coin was beautifully engraved with a majestic dragon on one side. And the world tree on the other. I'm rich. Mira floated beside him. Very. Cedric stored every harvested crop inside enchanted crystal boxes. The vegetables disappeared one by one. Thank you for your business. Before leaving, he handed Noah a beautifully carved wooden token. What is this? My merchant's crest. When your next harvest is ready, simply place mana into it. I will arrive. Noah nodded. I don't actually have mana. Cedric smiled knowingly. You do now. Before Noah could ask another question, the merchant climbed back into his carriage. The crystal horses began walking. The mysterious road faded into mist. Within moments, both merchant and road had vanished completely. The valley became quiet once more. Only the pile of gold remained. Noah sat down beside it. He picked up another coin, turned it over, then laughed. A genuine, heartfelt laugh. For the first time in years, he didn't have to worry about tomorrow. But another problem soon crossed his mind. How exactly do I spend fantasy gold on Earth? Mira blinked. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Tell me what? There is another visitor. Another merchant. She smiled mischievously. No, the banker. Far away, near the lonely wooden door beneath the world tree, a glowing blue portal slowly began to open. Someone else was coming to visit the garden. Chapter 7. 1 gold coin. Noah couldn't take his eyes off the mountain of glittering gold. Every coin reflected the light of the world tree like tiny suns. This is insane. He picked up another coin and bit it. Ow. Mira giggled. Why did you bite it? I saw people do it in movies. Does it work? My teeth hurt. Noah sat beside the pile of treasure. So, what exactly is this, banker, you mentioned? Mira hovered above the coins. The garden connects many worlds. Not just yours. When caretakers need supplies from another world, they use the garden bank. A magical bank, she nodded. It has existed since before kingdoms were born. Suddenly, the blue portal beneath the world tree expanded. A ring of glowing runes spun slowly in the air. Unlike Cedric's quiet arrival, this portal radiated overwhelming magical power. Golden sparks danced across the ground. A calm voice echoed from inside. Request accepted. Opening dimensional exchange. The portal unfolded like a blooming flower. A gentleman walked out. He wore a spotless white suit with silver trim. A long blue coat flowed behind him. His silver hair reached his shoulders. Unlike Cedric's warm smile, this man's expression was calm and professional. He carried a black leather briefcase. The portal quietly closed behind him. He bowed respectfully. Good afternoon. I am Orion, Senior Exchange Officer of the Interworld Garden Bank. Noah blinked. You people really have a bank. Orion adjusted his glasses. We have over 14 million branches. What? Across different worlds. Orion looked toward the pile of gold. He nodded politely. First harvest. Yes. Congratulations. Your results are unusual. So I've been told. The banker opened his briefcase. Inside floated dozens of glowing documents. One by one they organized themselves in midair. Noah stared blankly. I suddenly feel like I'm applying for a loan. You are opening an account. Close enough. Orion waved his hand. A small floating crystal appeared. Please place one hand here. Noah obeyed. The crystal glowed brilliantly. Several lines of light appeared. Name: Noah Reyes. Status: Caretaker. Garden Authority: confirmed. World Tree approval: granted. Exchange permission: unlimited. Orion paused. Unlimited. Even the banker looked surprised. He checked again. Remarkable. What does that mean? Orion looked at Noah. It means the World Tree trusts you completely. Normally, new caretakers are limited to exchanging only a few coins each month. You may exchange without restriction. Mira smiled proudly. I told you the garden likes him. The banker snapped his fingers. A small silver portal appeared. Would you like to test the exchange? Noah nodded. I guess. Orion accepted a single gold coin. He placed it inside the portal. The coin disappeared. Several seconds later, a modern ATM receipt slowly floated back out. Orion handed it to Noah. Please check your mobile banking application. Confused, Noah took out his phone. There was still enough battery left. He opened his banking app. His eyes widened. Deposit received. 5 million pesos. Quote. 5. Million. He refreshed the screen. The number remained. He looked at the receipt. Looked at the gold. Then back at his phone. I just exchanged. Quote. 1 coin. Orion nodded calmly. The exchange rate changes daily. Today's value is approximately 5 million Philippine pesos. Noah slowly looked toward the mountain of gold beside him. There were over 1,000 coins. His brain immediately stopped calculating. Mira floated closer. Can humans faint while standing? I think I'm about to. After several minutes, Noah finally calmed down. Quote. If I exchange everything, Orion answered before he finished. You would become one of the wealthiest individuals on your world. Silence. Noah laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it was unbelievable. A week ago, he couldn't afford instant noodles. Now, 1 coin had changed his entire life. Orion handed Noah a sleek silver card engraved with the world tree. What is this? Your Interworld exchange card. It allows instant deposits into any registered bank account. It also records every transaction. The card shimmered before disappearing into Noah's pocket by itself. Quote. Convenient. Before leaving, Orion became unexpectedly serious. There is one warning. Noah straightened. What is it? Do not flood your world with wealth. Too much money appearing too quickly will attract attention. You should exchange gradually. Build businesses. Invest. Hide the garden. Protect it. His voice became even quieter. There are people who have destroyed worlds chasing the garden. The cheerful atmosphere instantly disappeared. Noah looked toward the endless fields. For the first time, he realized the garden wasn't simply a miracle. It was a treasure capable of changing civilizations. And treasures always attracted greed. Orion bowed one final time. The bank welcomes its newest honored client. The blue portal reopened. He stepped inside. Moments later, it disappeared without a trace. The valley became peaceful once again. Noah stared at the silver card in his hand. "5 million. He laughed softly. I think my life is finally beginning. Far away, back on Earth, a luxury car dealership opened for business. A real estate company listed a beautiful countryside property for sale. And in the city, opportunities Noah had never imagined were quietly waiting for him. The next chapter of his life would begin on Earth. Chapter 8: A New Beginning. Morning sunlight streamed through the windows of the old countryside house. For the first time in years, Noah woke up without worrying about overdue bills. He sat on the edge of his bed and stared at his phone. Bank balance, 5,001,482.67 pesos. The number was still there. He refreshed the banking app. Again, and again. It's real. A week ago, he had barely enough money for instant noodles. Now, he could buy almost anything he wanted. Yet Orion's warning echoed in his mind. Don't flood your world with wealth. Noah smiled to himself. I'll take it slow. After eating breakfast in the garden with Mira, Noah returned to Earth. His first destination wasn't a luxury car dealership, nor an expensive shopping mall. Instead, he walked into the nearest bank. The manager personally welcomed him after seeing the large deposit. Mr. Reyes, congratulations. We'd be delighted to help you with your financial planning. For nearly 2 hours, Noah quietly opened new accounts, placed most of his money into secure investments, and spoke with financial advisors. He kept his story simple. I inherited money from a relative. No one questioned him. His second stop, the apartment he had been forced to leave. The landlord froze upon seeing Noah. I thought you disappeared. Noah simply smiled. I came to settle everything. He paid every peso he owed, including the unpaid utility bills. The landlord awkwardly scratched his head. I may have overreacted. It's all right. Noah wasn't angry anymore. Without hardship, he would never have discovered the garden. Next, he visited the convenience store where he had often bought instant noodles on credit. The elderly cashier smiled warmly. You found work. No, I found something better. He repaid everything he owed, then quietly bought lunch for every employee working that day. The cashier nearly cried. You've always been a good kid. Noah simply smiled. That afternoon, he visited a real estate agency. The agent politely asked, what kind of property are you looking for? Noah answered without hesitation. I'd like to purchase all the land surrounding my countryside house. The agent blinked. All of it? Yes. Luckily, most of the surrounding farmland had been abandoned for years. Within hours, the paperwork had begun. Noah's home would soon have complete privacy. The garden's secret would become much safer. As evening approached, he entered a furniture store. Instead of buying expensive decorations, he chose practical things. A comfortable bed, kitchen equipment, solar panels, farming tools, bookshelves, generators, water tanks, everything needed to restore the old house. Nothing flashy, just useful. The employees admired his simple choices. Several delivery trucks arrived at the countryside house over the next 2 days. The abandoned home slowly transformed. The leaking roof was repaired. Fresh paint covered the walls. The broken fence was replaced. Electricity and clean water were restored. The once forgotten house finally looked alive again. Noah stood on the front porch. It finally feels like home. Inside the garden, Mira stared at the television Noah had carried through the magical door. What's that? A television. What does it do? It shows stories. Magic. Sort of. After Noah connected a portable power station, the screen lit up. Mira screamed. The tiny humans are trapped inside. She flew behind Noah's head. They're waving at us. They're actors. What's an actor? Noah spent the next hour explaining movies. Mira understood nothing, but she laughed the entire time. Days passed peacefully. Each morning, Noah harvested magical crops. Cedric faithfully purchased every harvest. Each transaction brought even more gold. Yet Noah exchanged only a few coins each week. Exactly as Orion had advised. His wealth steadily grew. Quietly. Safely. One evening, while planting another field of tomatoes, Noah noticed something unusual. A tiny green sprout had appeared beneath the world tree. Unlike every other plant, he had never planted it. Mira floated closer. That's strange. What is it? She stared silently. I've never seen it before. The tiny sprout glowed with soft emerald light. Its leaves shimmered like polished jade. As Noah gently touched one leaf, the world tree suddenly trembled. A single silver leaf drifted gently from its branches. The leaf landed beside the mysterious sprout. Then, the sprout instantly grew taller. Its stem twisted upward. Small branches spread. Golden buds slowly formed. A transparent message appeared before Noah. ? World tree descendant. Growth stage. Seedling. Status. Bonded to caretaker. Special effect. Unknown. Noah blinked. ? Unknown. Even Mira looked confused. The world tree has never grown a child before. Far above them, the ancient world tree glowed brighter than ever. Deep within its endless branches, something had begun to awaken, and whatever was growing beneath it would change the garden forever. Chapter 9: The Guardian's Trial. The mysterious sprout continued to glow beneath the world tree. Its tiny golden bud swayed gently despite the absence of wind. Noah knelt beside it. It grew overnight. Mira floated around the seedling with a puzzled expression. This shouldn't be possible. The world tree has never created a descendant before. She reached out to touch one of its leaves. The moment her fingertip brushed it, a pulse of emerald light rippled through the garden. The ground trembled. The rivers shimmered. Even the endless fields of crops bowed as if greeting a king. Far away, a deep roar echoed across the mountains. Ruah-aarrr. Noah shot to his feet. ... That didn't sound friendly. Myra's face turned pale. ... He's awake. Who's awake? The guardian. The peaceful atmosphere vanished. Birds scattered into the sky. Cloud sheep ran toward the hills. Crystal butterflies hid among the flowers. Even the world tree's branches became still. The entire garden seemed to be waiting. Then, heavy footsteps echoed through the valley. Thump, thump, thump. Each step shook the ground. Trees swayed. Pebbles bounced. Noah instinctively stepped in front of the glowing seedling. From the distant forest emerged an enormous wolf. Its shoulders stood nearly 4 meters tall. Silver-white fur shimmered beneath the sunlight. Blue markings glowed across its body like flowing rivers. Its golden eyes were calm yet overwhelming. Every breath carried visible streams of magical energy. The giant beast stopped only a few meters away. Noah felt as if a mountain had come to life. The wolf lowered its head and stared directly at him. Silence. Noah swallowed hard. ... Good dog. Mira buried her face in her hands. Now is not the time. The wolf suddenly sniffed the air. Then, it took one slow step forward. Another. Until it stood directly before Noah. Its massive nose almost touched his face. Noah remained perfectly still. If I run, I'm definitely dead. The wolf sniffed him once. Twice. Then, it gently licked his forehead. ... Huh. Mira blinked. ... Seriously. The enormous wolf wagged its fluffy tail. Once. Twice. Then it sat down obediently. Its tail thumped happily against the ground. Noah cautiously reached out. You don't want to eat me. The wolf lowered its head. Slowly. Noah scratched behind one giant ear. The beast closed its eyes. A deep rumbling purr echoed through the valley. ... You're basically a giant puppy. The wolf barked happily. Woof. The sound echoed for kilometers. Mira sighed in relief. I can't believe it. What? He accepted you. Who is he? She smiled warmly. His name is Bramble. He is the first guardian created by the world tree. He has protected this garden for nearly 2,000 years. Noah stared at the massive wolf. ... You're 2,000 years old. Bramble barked proudly. Mira explained as Bramble lay comfortably beside them. Every caretaker must earn the guardian's trust. Most spend years trying. You. She looked at Noah. ... Did it in less than 5 minutes. Noah laughed awkwardly. I just called him a good dog. ... Apparently that's enough. Suddenly, Bramble stood up. His ears twitched. He looked toward the northern mountains. His friendly expression disappeared. A low growl rumbled from his chest. What is it? Myra's wings stiffened. Someone crossed the garden's border. What? No one should even know this place exists. Bramble released another deep growl. The world tree's leaves began glowing. A transparent barrier spread across the sky. Noah looked toward the distant forest. For only a brief moment. He thought he saw a shadow disappear between the trees. Someone, or something, had entered the garden. Bramble suddenly walked toward Noah. He lowered his head. A silver collar materialized around his neck. At its center hung a glowing emerald crystal. The crystal floated free and drifted into Noah's hands. A notification appeared before him. Guardian's crest obtained. Owner, Noah Reyes. Effects. Communicate with garden guardians. Enhanced perception within the garden. Guardian bond established. Noah looked at Bramble. The giant wolf suddenly spoke directly inside his mind. Master. Noah nearly jumped backward. You can talk. Bramble's deep voice echoed calmly. Only to the garden's caretaker. Noah laughed. I guess I shouldn't be surprised anymore. Bramble lowered his head respectfully. I will protect the garden. And I will protect you. Noah smiled and gently placed a hand on the giant wolf's forehead. Then let's protect it together. High above, the world tree released countless silver leaves. The garden had recognized another bond. But beyond the invisible barrier, hidden among the distant mountains, a pair of crimson eyes silently watched. They've chosen a new caretaker. A cloaked figure smiled beneath the shadows. Interesting. The peace of the garden would not remain undisturbed forever. Chapter 10 The Shadow Beyond the Barrier. The peaceful atmosphere of the garden didn't return after Bramble sensed the intruder. The giant guardian stood at the edge of the northern forest, his silver fur glowing beneath the moonlight. His ears twitched constantly. His golden eyes never left the distant mountains. Noah approached carefully. Do you still sense them? Bramble's deep voice echoed inside his mind. Yes, they have already left, but they were watching. Noah frowned. Can they enter the garden? Bramble remained silent for several seconds. Not while the barrier stands. But if the garden's location is revealed, war will follow. The words settled heavily in Noah's heart. Until now, the garden had been a peaceful paradise. A place where he farmed, laughed with Mira, and slowly rebuilt his life. Now, he understood why every previous caretaker had protected its secret. This wasn't simply magical farmland. It was a treasure capable of changing worlds. The next morning, Mira gathered Noah and Bramble beneath the world tree. There are things you should know. Her usually cheerful expression had disappeared. The garden exists between worlds. It cannot normally be found. So how did someone reach the border? Mira lowered her head. I don't know. The barrier has never been breached before. The world tree suddenly released dozens of glowing silver leaves. They circled Noah before forming a floating map in the air. Mountains, rivers, forests, valleys, floating islands. The garden was far larger than Noah had imagined. Then, a dark red dot appeared near the northern mountains. Myra's eyes widened. The barrier detected where the intruder stood. Noah studied the map. They never actually entered. Bramble nodded. Someone powerful found the edge. Wanting to understand more, Noah spent the day exploring with Bramble. The guardian moved silently despite his enormous size. As they crossed crystal rivers and flower-covered hills, Noah noticed dozens of strange creatures hiding nearby. A family of crystal deer watched them from the forest. Tiny glowing foxes chased butterflies. Several cloud sheep rolled down grassy slopes like fluffy balls. The garden wasn't empty. Its inhabitants had simply been observing their new caretaker. Near sunset, Bramble stopped beside an ancient stone monument almost hidden beneath vines. The monument was covered in carvings. Noah carefully brushed away the moss. Words slowly appeared. The 10 guardians. The world tree shall never stand alone. When the garden chooses a worthy caretaker, the guardians shall awaken once more. Noah looked at Bramble. 10 guardians. Bramble nodded. I am only the first guardian. There are 9 more, sleeping, waiting. Before Noah could ask another question, the mysterious world tree descendant suddenly released another pulse of emerald light. The entire garden responded, the air filled with glowing particles. Far away, another roar echoed through the mountains. Unlike Bramble's, This one sounded deeper, older, almost dragon-like. Mira gasped. No way. What happened? The garden just awakened the second guardian. At that exact moment, far beyond the invisible barrier, inside the ruins of an ancient fortress, the cloaked figure from the previous chapter knelt before a towering throne carved from black crystal. Upon the throne sat an old man with long silver hair and crimson eyes. He wore a crown made of twisted obsidian branches. The reports. The cloaked figure lowered his head. The garden has chosen a new caretaker. Silence. The old man slowly smiled. So, the world tree still lives. His crimson eyes gleamed with greed. Prepare the seekers. We've searched for that garden for nearly 1,000 years. Back inside the garden, Noah remained unaware of the danger growing beyond its borders. He gently watered the mysterious world tree descendant before smiling. No matter what happens, I'll protect this place. The tiny tree shimmered. Its golden buds slowly opened, just enough to reveal a tiny emerald leaf glowing with ancient magic. Above them, the world tree's branches swayed peacefully. But somewhere beyond the mountains, dark clouds quietly gathered. The days of peaceful farming were coming to an end, and Noah's greatest adventure was only beginning. End of part 1. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. See you next time.